Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Random Trek. I am your fearless captain, Christopher Ingle, joined as always by my first officer, Commander Brennan, the Mystical Mar. Brennan, how we doing this week?
It's gonna be fun.
Definitely. Today we are taking a look at Season 3, Episode 1 of Star Trek Enterprise, The Xindi. This is the full-blown start of the Xindi arc that actually was begun at the season finale of season 2. I was a little off. I thought they did the attack in the first episode. No, it was done in the previous episode. So this is where the Enterprise goes off on their mission to stop the Xindi. What can we say about this season? Like, up to this point, Enterprise was not having a great go.
Yeah, it felt a little bit like they didn't really know where they were going with the first two seasons.
Yeah, I mean, now this episode specifically was written by Berman and Braga, and I can't help for this whole season but feel elements of Deep Space Nine, which Berman and Braga also helped write and run.
It makes sense.
Yeah, so I feel that, and I'm not always sure that um that season long storylines always work. They don't always. In DS9, it worked pretty darn well. And I think switching over here was a good plan for Enterprise. And this is a very good start to that because we get deeper into our characters and their human aspects, which is probably what Star Trek truly is about in the end. And that is a reflection of humanity.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's get into this episode and then we'll talk about it. So last time on Star Trek, as I said, this probe with an unknown alien in it at first attacks Earth, drives a giant swath down Florida and into the Gulf Coast and into the Atlantic,
Mhm.
which destroys countless number of lives, including Tucker Tripp's sister,
Yes.
which will be an important thing for him throughout this whole season. Um, so the Enterprise is ordered to go into the Delphic Expanse to find the Xindi and to stop them. But we open the cold open with a council of aliens around each other. We see a insect-looking one and an ape-looking one and a humanoid-looking one and kind of a lizard-looking one that looks awfully like they stole it from Galaxy Quest.
Mm.
Not that I'm objected, but I did notice. And even an aquatic species. These are the Xindi. And we find out right away something really fascinating that I love, that the Xindi are not a single species, but they are a collective of species that have offshooted and evolved over time and exist in the same region, but they've come together to work together. But
It
they're
would be
all,
like if the Earth was ruled by humans and Neanderthals and
yeah, a little
other
bit.
other offshoots of humanity.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Absolutely. But we see that they are discussing what to do. They know that Enterprise is in the Expanse. They know. And they're trying to figure out, what are we going to do with it? Do we destroy it? Do we let them destroy themselves? What's going to happen? Well, Archer is going through, and I got to say, the first thing I see about Archer is that this is a different Archer. This Archer is cold. This
Yes.
Archer is mission driven and very militaristic. Something we have not really seen a lot of in terms of characters. Remember, the Enterprise, no matter what Enterprise you're looking at, unless it was the ISS Enterprise, they're explorers. They're explorers, not a military. And so to see them switch to kind of a military mind and to have to make that adjustment is a really fascinating change. In fact, we are also introduced in the episode to the Makos, who
Mm.
are the military force of Earth. First time we've ever seen that as well. Um, What did you think of this? Because we get this first change in within the first 5 minutes. What did you think of this change in tone?
Definitely, it was immediately telling us this is going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
That this is not the Star Trek Enterprise that you knew.
Yeah, it's not Star Trek that we knew. Yeah.
It's a darker, more complicated
It
story.
really is, and the music, the lighting, everything does feel darker. I'd argue even the uniforms feel just a little darker. They're the same, but I don't know what it is, and I think it's the mood and the tone. It just feels darker.
Yeah,
But Archer orders the Enterprise to a mining penal colony that's within the Expanse. They believe that there is or was a Xindi there. So they meet up with the mine's foreman, who says, "Listen, give me some liquid platinum, and I will get you to this guy. We'll help you out." And it's a primate, Xindi. Um, so Archer wants the location of the Xindi homeworld. From this guy. They do meet with this guy named Keswick, and he admits, yes, absolutely, there is a home world. Um, but he won't help Archer unless Archer helps him escape. Archer says, no, I'm not going to do that to you. Little bit, I think there's a little bit of hate and racism here with Archer, just a
yeah.
little bit.
Mhm.
Um, but he quickly learns, Archer learns that the foreman has ulterior motives for the Enterprise crew. He has 3 warships coming in that are going to overpower the Enterprise, take over the Enterprise, and enslave the crew. Um, Keswick says he knows how to escape the mine. And he says, look, please, I will take you to your officers and get us out of here, but you got to take me with you. Save me, please. Archer then agrees. The foreman, or what they end up doing, is escaping through the sewers. But the foreman detects this and floods the system with plasma in order to kill them all. They do manage to escape, but then fall into the security force's hands. Um, we've also got another problem going on between Reed, or not Reed. I'm sorry, of Trip. Trip can't sleep. And T'Pol is asked by the doctor, hey, listen, I can't keep giving him sedatives. I'd like you to try Vulcan neurotherapy. Well, I don't think he's a good candidate for this. Well, I think he is. Can you help him out, please? I've sent him to you. Okay. And that starts a very, very big thing this season in terms of the relationship between Trip and T'Pol. But anyway, meanwhile, uh, T'Pol asks Lieutenant Reed, hey, let's send the Makos down to get them. That's what they're here for. Let's use them. Okay. So Reed and the Makos go down and they do very well in combat. They rescue Archer, Tucker, Keswick. They get everybody out. Enterprise leaves orbit just as the warships arrive. But in the process, Keswick dies. He provides the coordinates of the Xindi world, which they go to. But when they reach there, there is nothing there but space debris that's been there for about 120 years. And that's how it ends.
Yeah,
It's the start to something. Um, you know, I want a bigger, I want to discuss something in the bigger realm of Star Trek that I think this really does bring up. We have heard numerous times that the Federation, specifically Starfleet, is not a military organization. And yet, we have seen in numerous cases where Starfleet sends a ship on a tactical mission. This is not a diplomatic mission for the Enterprise. It isn't. This is tactical. And now they're loaded up with tactical soldiers. Soldiers. Is Starfleet lying to itself? And are they really a military organization in disguise of a scientific one?
I think they are a military organization when they feel they need to be.
Hmm.
Most of the time, I think they are explorers, but there may be a sense of they are in the military but are not are trying not to be that.
Hmm.
But of course conflicts are always coming up.
This really reminds me, and I read this with my eighth grade students. This really reminds me sort of a Lord of the Flies kind of predicament,
Yes.
where in the story of the Lord of the Flies, William Golding, if anyone has never read it, these group of kids are marooned on an island. Children, there are no adults on the island, and these children, they're school age children, maybe about 11, 12 ish. Um, and one kid tries to bring order and reason, and we can work together, we can explore the island, we can survive, we can try to get help, we could do this all if we do it together. But others want to take over, and others end up using violence as a method to take control of power. So in a way, this episode only almost reminds me a little bit of Lord of the Flies, and how Archer is dealing with this conflict this season of, he is an explorer. He's Admiral Johnny Archer, you know? But yet now, his friends have died, his family has died. Or well, not his family, but his friends' family. There we go. Punctuation, kids. Um, but it matters to him. He's changed. And I see a man who is more willing to go in gung ho and to fight his way out instead of being a diplomat and an explorer.
This is very much a post 9/11 episode.
It really is. 2 years later, so many people were willing to go enlist and go to war simply because they felt this obligation to
Threat. They felt the
thrive.
threat.
Yeah. And Archer, this is Archer. This is the Archer that we have not had. And I would say that we've had this with Cisco. Cisco, we saw it a lot more, but we even saw it with Janeway from time to time. Think the Year of Hell, or more appropriately, um, the Equinox, and how she
Yes.
dealt with the
Yes.
Equinox. You know, we've had captains who are like this, who show their more militaristic side. They're willing to use force. And that's not Star Trek. And yet, those are all in our human nature. Our nature to be aggressive creatures is prevalent in all of us. I would dare say, even the most peaceful individuals in history, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, um, I guess I could go on and on and on. Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter. Love Jimmy Carter. Got the Peace Prize, wanted to negotiate everything. I bet there's an aggressive side of there. Mr. Rogers. Somewhere in there, there is an anger. Anger is part of the human experience.
Yeah.
We get to see that on display with Archer.
Yeah. And definitely the attitude that we as a country have after 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Grab your guns, let's go fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on here.
Yeah. And Tucker, I'm really impressed with the writers and with Connor Trenier in this episode
Yes.
and this season,
Yes.
because Trip truly is dealing with the stages of grief in a lot of classic ways. Not in the order you would expect it to be, but he is dealing with them. And it's so fascinating to watch him and to watch that relationship develop and how that's going to affect to Paul. In reality, this is, not a lot happens in this episode, but yet it does such a good job of setting up this different world that we're living. This isn't Trouble with Tribbles. This is Balance of Terror.
This balance of terror, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And while Kirk maintained calm, cool resolution, was still willing to be a diplomat, never fell into the soldier. This is Cisco. This is the art. Oh, I like this more than I thought I was really going to.
Yeah, it's an individual episode. I don't think it's great, but it definitely sets up the great season.
It does, and it's great acting. It's great acting from all of those. Seeing Scott
That's true.
Bakula
Yes,
do
that's
this,
true.
we rarely saw this from Bakula. I grew up watching Quantum Leap. I never saw Scott Bakula get truly angry as Dr. Sam Beckett.
Yes,
Here, from the very start, when they're in the war room, what was this room? I think it was like a storage room. Well, it's now a war center.
yes,
We're at war, and we're going to get these guys. If there's anybody you would not expect to be that way, it would be the captain.
yes,
But I love this, which again, I still say brings it back to my original question. Truly, is Starfleet really a scientific, mode of exploration, or is it a military? I think that it is, as Teddy Roosevelt said, to walk. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. Walk and carry a big stick. We
yeah.
walk around the galaxy.
Speak softly, and carry a big stick.
Thank you. And we do. We negotiate. We do science. We do all of these things, and yet we're building new technologies of weapons all the time and defenses, and it's a dangerous place out there.
Nuclear weapons. All the time.
Yep. Yeah. And the Makos are a nice addition. I really like the Makos. Um, it's really great. By the way, Daniel Day Kim makes his second appearance in Star Trek. I
Yes, he
always
does.
forget
Yes.
this so much. But my hidden guy for the all this season that I didn't expect. I hate this guy's characters, but I really liked it. Stephen Culp.
Yes, Stephen Culp.
He surprised me so much as the head of the Makos, as Major
And
Hayes.
deleted scenes of Commander and Meriden from Star Trek Nemesis.
Yeah, I was not expecting this. Was not expecting it to be as him as good as he was. I really wasn't.
And I do like that he comes to loggerheads with Malcolm Reed.
Yeah, Reed has always been a weird character for me because I still feel, this is me being crazy, that I think they were switched. Connor Trinneer, I really feel should have played the munitions officer, and I can never remember his name.
No,
Dominic Keating.
Keating.
Dominic Keating.
Keating.
Keating should have been the engineer. I know that sounds weird, but it always felt a little strange for me because with the British accent and everything, Dominic Keating never felt to me to be aggressive and forceful and what you need in a security officer. And yet what's funny is now in Strange New Worlds, we have La'an, who also has a British accent and is very threatening and is very, but watching Enterprise originally, I wouldn't have thought of that. I really wouldn't have
Yes,
thought
you
of
do
that.
not want to mess with Noonien Singh.
No. But I'll be honest, I don't want to mess with Malcolm Reed now either.
Well, Malcolm Reed, I mean, to me, he's very much a British soldier type.
Yeah, stiff upper lip and all that. But yeah, I would agree with you. It's a nice shift for these characters. The only thing that would make this better for me is if our secondary characters got more throughout the whole season.
Yeah, yes, I agree.
Mayweather, Hoshi, Phlox, although Phlox tends to get a little more involved, I would love to see them be involved anymore instead of it always being Archer, Trip, and T'Pol.
It's
I
like
get
a neural pressure. But
Yeah, it gets a little boring. It gets a little stale, and I just would like a little more spreading of
yeah,
the.
because T'Pol, Crit, and Archer get along.
It's very much the formula of the original series. You had your trio.
It's
You
true.
had a trio, and that's how you did it. Next gen, they had a little more than a trio. Not much, but it expanded because
Really,
you.
Picard did the worst. It's really their show.
I don't think Worf got enough growth. There were the Klingon episodes, but then when the Klingon episodes didn't happen, Worf had nothing to do. That was kind of the downside. When the Klingon episodes happened, that was great.
It's,
Your trio has to carry your show if you're going to do a trio.
hmm
We have to want to invest in them. Data, we wanted to invest. Picard was a good mentor. Shoot, Riker. Riker had some interesting things going on. And even Geordi at times had some, it was girl trouble, but
of
he had some
course.
interesting things. Fine. Uh, you know, we had a great ensemble run in DS9. Voyager, I think, did a pretty good job, except for Chakotay. Poor Chakotay. Never got much.
Except he got the girl for no apparent reason.
But if you're going to give me the trio, at least also spread it around a little bit. And they just don't. And this season doesn't, this episode too, doesn't do much for this.
So to say, the neural pressure that feels very much like the decontamination chamber and kind of necessary
I know.
sexualization of T'Pol.
Yeah. You're not
I
wrong.
mean, make no mistake, Colleen Bloodlock is a great actress and a beautiful woman.
Right.
But
Well,
she doesn't need to be exploited in that way.
she doesn't. I am very glad though that they did. As time went on, they wrote better for her.
Season
And
4 for T'Pol is great.
oh, the season or the stretch on Vulcan when we learned about her mother,
Yes.
that was really good.
And then the whole baby thing with the baby. And
But this season, also season 3, gives us the idea that T'Pol suffers thanks to being in the expanse and everything, to substance abuse.
yes, that's true.
Really, it's done well. It's not hit you over the head. You really see it
Yeah.
and you're like,
But
wow.
the whole neural pressure in this episode, not really necessary.
I would agree. I would agree. All right. Yeah, I mean, this season 3 and 4, I really recommend overall watch them. Because the Xindi arc is the best of the long game for Enterprise. From beginning to end, this season covers, a lot.
Absolutely.
And it's a good season. Oh, final
All right.
thoughts on it.
Well, okay, if you want to, it's not like a must see.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get the full picture of season 3, watch it.
Yes. All righty. Next. Next week. Next week we head forward in time. So we're gonna try something new. We're gonna hit the randomizer for Star Trek Discovery.
Yes.
If the episode takes place in this era, in the I'm gonna call it the Kirk era, even though it's before Kirk, but we'll call it that, the TOS-ish era. We will do a review next week of Discovery. But if it takes place in the 31st century, we're gonna move it to the end, timeline wise, and then we'll move into Strange New Worlds.
Yes.
So yeah, we're gonna kind of know 2 episodes one way or another, and I'm kind of really excited. So,
Okay. Let's see what it gives us.
all righty, Wheel of Morality, turn. Oh, 1 second, it froze on me. This is what happens when it freezes. It's not
This is what
pretty.
you get. This is what you pay for, folks.
All right, looks like Discovery is moving to the end because it gave us the series finale of Star Trek Discovery. Season 5, episode 10, Life Itself. So we will move that to the end of this run. But that means we have to hit Strange New Worlds. Which, by the way, by the time you hear this week, brand new season of Strange New Worlds, season 3. We finally get to see what happens with the Gorn and Scotty. I believe he's joining the crew, so I'm really excited.
Yep.
Yes. All right, here we go. Strange New Worlds, season 2, episode 5, Charades. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. This is the one where Spock is turned full human.
Oh,
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, we'll see how this goes.
oh, this one. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So yeah, so next week we will do charades, and Brennan and I are going to take on a challenge in the coming weeks. So Brennan and I, as science fiction nerds as we are, we absolutely love the series Babylon 5. I
Indeed, they
finally went
do.
out and bought the Babylon 5 set to watch it from beginning to end. But instead of creating a whole new show, we thought we would do something challenging for us and stick to brevity. And so there will be a segment on this show that we're going to call Babble on 5,
Mhm.
where we will have 5 minutes to talk about, in chronological order, an episode of Babylon 5.
Mhm.
5 minutes. That's not a lot of time for you and I, but it'll be
Yes.
interesting. It'll be interesting, especially those weeks that we look at DS9, because we know about the connections between Babylon 5 and DS9. So it will be interesting. But that is coming, not this week, but soon we will add that segment into our sections. We're really looking forward to also reviewing a little bit of Babylon 5 and building our sci-fi repertoire. Brendan, where can the people find you?
Maybe I'm doing one four when keep phasing in and out.
What
Anyone? Anyone?
what was that?
Okay. Well, one four keeps phasing in and out of existence.
Oh, I get the joke now. Okay.
Yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky at When at Blue Sky Social. And on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify at Page Turners They Were Not.
You will find me on Twitch and Twitter at Ingle1984. But as always, we end every episode. Kapla! And live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.